Hey, your video is about to start. I just wanted to remind you that we are trying a new pilot of sorts of live Q&A for lunchtime with myself on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Probably will give it a go for about an hour. We'll see how it goes, if it can go longer than that. If it's if no one's around to watch it, I'll just give you a little bit of um, any kind of information sharing tips I have for that day. Although I think our regular 9 a.m. share is going to be coming out as well. But anyway, I hope to see you there. And another reminder that we have our membership benefactor system that you can join if you want to be a benefactor and receive some of the perks that you get with that at the various levels. Okay. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later. Bye. Morning. It is Sunday, and we're going to do the Social Security roundup for today. And that would include the days of, so this is all last week, right? The, I'm looking at the 13th through the 18th yesterday. Okay, so on Monday, the 13th, here's what we were at. We were talking about, and why is my thing not? Oh, yeah, benefits, back benefits, Social Security disability versus SSI, and how they differ in terms of how they are calculated. So just a little bit of clarity on that. That was Monday, January 13th. On Tuesday, the 14th, I was passing along some SSA alert um, with regard to scams and how to avoid them. It was just a reminder they sent to me to share out to anybody else. So I did, and I had some good stuff in there. On the 15th, we talked about the ins and outs of working while you're collecting early retirement. So this would apply to those who are 62 to 67 or whatever that full retirement age is for that individual, and how you can do it, when it won't affect your benefits and when it will, and how it might be positive at times when it does. Okay, so now we have January 16th. This was a new court ruling put out by colleague Adriana, and it concerned, this is the Perez case, and it concerned the situation where a vocational expert at hearing provides job information that conflicts with the DOT, Dictionary of Occupational Titles, and that has not been addressed by the ALJ when he or she put forth their decision. So we go into that. That was pretty good. Kind of a reminder to practitioners too of what to definitely uh, review should you get a denial when it comes to what the VE said, what the RFC was, and what the DOT defines certain aspects of the RFC and exertional capacities as, and see if there's any conflict. I think a conflict that remains unaddressed is probably a flat out appealable issue. Friday, the 17th, end of January, guys, can you believe? Fraud law review. This was a funny one. Different than a usual one, so that's why I'm chuckling. It's not as aggravating to me. Don't ask me why. I'm sure it's very aggravating to some other people. It's just not to me. It was two Florida men who had been, for their YouTube channel, no less, um, videotaping inside various field offices of the Social Security Administration. For whatever reason, I haven't seen any of their videos. I'm sure they've been taken down because apparently that's a no-no. You're not allowed to videotape in there. So I guess there's going to be no way to prove some of the things that go on in there, you know, that maybe need a little bit of doge on them. Okay, that was Friday. Saturday, this was in response to a question from somebody wanting to know if the SSI process, when you're proving an SSI case, is the same as the process used to prove an SSD disability case. So we go into that a little bit. And that's it, guys. That's the week. I hope you all had a good one. I hope you have a better one coming up. And stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. Don't forget, Wednesday, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard, we're going to go live again with a Q&A opportunity for anyone who has questions that are suitable for answering on such a public forum, of which there are many suitable questions. So just keep it clean and obviously, no personally identified information. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye. It's still Sunday. Did you miss last week's Social Security roundup? Not this week that you just heard, but the one prior to that, and want to catch up? I'm attaching it now. Have a great day. Bye. Happy Sunday. Here is Social Security roundup for the week of January 6th to January 11th. That would be Monday through Saturday. Okay, here's what we did last week, guys. Busy week. Busy, busy. Hope you all had a good one. It is freezing cold up here. What do they say? The polar vortex that is upon us. We're looking at like 0 degrees or with the wind chill. It's been very windy, crazy windy. I thought I was going to get blown away one day. Okay, so on Monday the 6th, oh yeah, we went over the new law that removed the windfall elimination provision from applying to the small percentage of people it applies to. And some people are very thrilled that it's gone. And I laid out what it was, uh, my opinion on it. And some people got really offended. They can't take a different opinion, I guess. And I'm sorry about that. But I wanted everybody to know what it was, because it has been misconstrued up and down for decades now. But the misconstruction has resulted in the removal. So have at it, people. Have at it. Okay, that was January 6th. January 7th was, let's see, when you're on SSI, and I can barely see, guys, my screen is so small. And I'm working in a different office in a different town, hours from the other one, and I don't have my secondary screen in front of me. It's actually being used by somebody else. I think I have to bring an extra one. Anyway, this one is about when you're on SSI. So this is not SSD. Sorry, SSD people. The cautionary tale, really, of being careful on how you pay your rent if you're a rent payer and you have a roommate, in terms of one person paying it all and the other person paying them, etc. And so we go into that a little bit. Just as a cautionary tale, do as you will. Okay, January 8th. This was a little ditty, just to clear up some misinformation that someone had, or just confusion, because SSI, we all know it's very confusing with the resource limits and the income limits and what applies and what doesn't. And this was about car buying, and it's not as taboo as one might think. So go into that a little bit to clear up that one little bit of confusing misinformation that at least one person may have had, so they could feel a little better about it. January 9th, this was about, for those of us approaching our early 60s, or perhaps in our early 60s, this would apply to as well. When you find you can't do the job you have been doing, the most recent one, and you have to stop, and you're contemplating early retirement, and the tip that you might not want to forget about the possibilities of SSD, because they are not mutually exclusive. You can do both. And we go into that a little bit, so you have a better understanding of why it might be worthwhile to do both while you're collecting early retirement. Okay, Friday was Friday Fraud Law Review as usual, and this one concerned a Massachusetts man that stole, I think it's Massachusetts, oh yeah, 21 years of Social Security funds. And then, of course, when COVID-19 hit and all that money was tossed around, relief funds, stimulus, decided to go and defraud that as well. So I think that one is a very brief one put out by the OIG. As you know, I get all my stuff from the OIG, Office of Inspector General, when they publish it. And I don't do all of them because that would just be overwhelming. So I go in there and I grab a few and we go over it. And then we have Saturday, oh yeah, Saturday was about the possibility and sometimes the arising of, and it's not that uncommon, of a discussion with an ALJ at your hearing about amending your onset date and when that can be a really good sign and what you might want to do to prepare yourself for that potential question, particularly if you don't have a lawyer. I would assume your lawyer, if it's a consideration that should be had, would bring it up with you before hearing. That's what we do. Okay. But it's a really important thing and it can be a really good sign for a case. So something you definitely want to know about if you're going to be heading to hearing. All right. Okay. That was Saturday. That's it, guys. I'll see you next week. I'll be in and out. I'm working in Perry County, Pennsylvania. At some point, I will be going back to Monroe County, Pennsylvania to work from there. But, I tend to bounce back and forth. It's great meeting people up here in this newer area where this new office is. And I look forward to being here every time I come here. So anyway, split weeks, nothing wrong with that, right? I'll talk to you later. Bye.